Okay, so you're here because, let's be honest, you want the good stuff right. You want the insights, the stuff that actually sticks with you from fascinating conversations. But, you don't necessarily have time to go through hours and hours of content yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So think of this as your fast track. Okay.
Yeah.
Your express delivery of the most compelling parts of a recent and very personal discussion.
Exactly. We've done the heavy lifting here. We've listened closely to a revealing interview, picked apart the key moments, the nuances, and really zeroed in on those insights that we think can actually, shift your perspective. And it's all about getting you informed efficiently and maybe even sparking a few aha moments along the way.
Right. It's like those light bulb moments, those aha moments.
Yeah.
So today we're taking a deep dive into a recent appearance on the Shetty Podcast, and it features Selena Gomez and BennyBlanco. Our source here is the transcript of their conversation.
Yeah.
And our mission, well, it's to really pull out the most relatable and thought-provoking pieces of their relationship journey.
We're not just going to rehash what they said. We're going to try to understand, the broader themes around modern relationships, how you build trust and how personal growth kind of intertwines with partnership, all through the lens of their experiences.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. It's like using their story to kind of understand these bigger ideas that we all face.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this. One of the things that immediately struck me was how their relationship didn't have this grand, dramatic beginning.
Yeah.
It wasn't like love at first sight.
Right.
They actually met through Selena's mom years ago.
Yeah.
But neither of them really locked that memory in. You know what I mean? It's almost like the universe is like, okay, not yet.
Not yet. It's not the right time. Yeah. It is fascinating. It's like sometimes the most, significant connections kind of brew slowly under the surface. You don't even realize it's happening. And, Benny remembers a more kind of substantive conversation later, and he was impressed by Selena's depth, but there wasn't a romantic spark right away. And it really makes you think how many potential connections we might just completely overlook simply because the timing isn't what we expect.
Oh, totally. And even when they collaborated on music, there weren't these fireworks. Selena even admits she kind of kept her distance at first.
Mm-hmm.
And Benny genuinely thought she wasn't a fan of him.
Right.
I mean, come on. It really highlights how easily we can just completely misread someone's demeanor, especially in professional settings.
It's true. And it raises a really interesting point about the assumptions that we make about people based on those first impressions. We often create narratives about people before we even understand their perspective, and their experience really suggests that allowing space for connections to evolve naturally without forcing a particular outcome can sometimes lead to those unexpected and meaningful relationships later down the line.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's let things unfold organically right.
Yeah.
Don't try to force it. And here's where it gets really interesting. The dynamic starts to shift during their work on the song Single Soon. And Selena's engineer actually gave her a heads up that Benny was coming to the session, and she felt that familiar vulnerability of being observed while she's creating.
Yeah. And that feeling is so universal.
Yeah.
Whether you're an artist sharing your work or just anyone putting themselves out there, it's that feeling of vulnerability. But what's significant here is that Benny seemed to really be attuned to that. He wanted to smooth things over, and it kind of shows a level of emotional intelligence and a desire for a genuine connection that goes beyond just the professional, collaboration.
Yeah, and it was almost disarmingly casual. I mean, Benny was even throwing out suggestions for his single guy friends for Selena.
Right.
It just sounds like neither of them were consciously pursuing romance at that stage, which actually makes their eventual connection feel even more organic.
Yeah, it does. It really underscores the power of just authentic interaction without a hidden agenda. Their friendship seems to have laid the groundwork for something deeper to develop. And Selena even went to Benny's friend's birthday party just thinking it was a low-key hangout, further highlighting there wasn't romantic pressure at that point.
Yeah, hey, so you could go hang out.
Yeah.
But then there's this little moment where Selena thought it was a date when Benny suggested grabbing a drink beforehand.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny how those subtle shifts in perception could be the first inklings that something more is possible.
Totally. And what's really insightful here is Selena's willingness to, acknowledge and maybe even lean into that potential shift.
Yeah.
She recognized a feeling and wasn't afraid to sort of explore it further.
Yeah.
It really speaks to the importance of paying attention to those subtle cues in our interactions.
Those little hints the universe is giving you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which led to Selena taking the initiative. She invited Benny to hang out again, And during a casual game at his place, they shared their first kiss.
Oh, wow.
It's a reminder that sometimes taking that first step, even if it's a small one, can open up a whole new chapter.
I love that. And for Benny, it seems like that moment clarified everything. He described it as, like he had met his best friend and he was even thinking about marriage. It highlights how a genuine connection can feel instantly, right? Like it aligns with your core values and your desires, even if it's unexpected. And he even had a mental checklist of qualities he was looking for in a partner. And Selena ticked all the boxes.
Wow, that's amazing. What were some of the things on his checklist?
Well, he was looking for someone age appropriate, which is, always a good start, and someone who was kind, compassionate, and caring.
Yeah, I mean, those are pretty solid qualities to look for.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with those.
No, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests that while we might not always be actively searching, having a sense of what truly matters to us in a relationship can really help us recognize it when it appears even in those unexpected forms.
Yeah.
Betty wasn't necessarily looking at Selena romantically at first, but her inherent qualities resonated deeply with what he ultimately valued.
It's true. And Selena also mentioned that in those initial recording sessions with Benny, she was deaf and guarded.
Mm-hmm.
And given her life in the public eye, that protective stance is completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural response to that constant scrutiny.
Yeah, absolutely. Fame adds so many layers to relationships, right? It's like this whole other level of complexity, and it makes trust an even more delicate and crucial element.
Right.
And Selena specifically pointed to Benny's honesty as being pivotal in her feeling safe enough to let her guard down.
Mm-hmm.
His directness created an environment of security for her.
Yeah, it really underscores how transparency and authenticity from a partner can kind of dismantle those walls that we build for self-protection. And Selena's experience highlights the power of genuine communication in fostering trust, especially when there's, a history of navigating public attention and its potential for manipulation.
And it wasn't just about romantic feelings. Selena felt that Benny truly saw her.
Yeah.
Like the person behind the celebrity, which she described as a rare and precious thing. That feeling of being seen for who you are, without the filters of fame or public perception, is so fundamental to any deep connection.
Yeah, it's huge. There's a huge difference between someone acknowledging your public persona and someone truly understanding and accepting your authentic self.
Right.
And for Selena, Benny's ability to connect with her on that deeper level seems to have been a cornerstone of their relationship.
Yeah, like he saw through the noise to the real her.
Yeah.
Now, they also navigated the complexities of a long-distance relationship with demanding careers.
Yeah.
Which is, a reality for so many people these days. What were their key strategies for making that work?
Well, they were very clear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Unwavering trust and consistent communication. Selena emphasized that her complete trust in Benny provided a sense of security even when they were physically apart for extended periods.
Yeah.
And even simple check-ins from him, during busy days offered her significant reassurance.
Yeah.
Like just knowing he was thinking about her.
Yeah. Those little things.
Yeah.
And Benny echoed that. He stressed the active work involved in building trust, particularly when both individuals have past relationship experiences that might create vulnerabilities.
Right.
He made a conscious effort to be open and responsive to Selena's needs, even when she was feeling, doubtful or insecure.
What's particularly interesting is their emphasis on proactive communication. Benny described intentionally sending small updates throughout his day when they were apart, and not just about important things, but just to keep Selena connected to his world and to show he was thinking of her.
Oh.
It's those small, consistent gestures that really weave the fabric of connection across distances.
It's like those little threads that keep you tied together.
Exactly.
He also shared a really valuable insight about listening. He believes that women often clearly articulate their needs, but sometimes men aren't truly present or attentive.
Mm-hmm.
For them, it's been about Benny actively listening and proactively doing those smaller things that make Selena feel seen, heard, and supported.
And that's such a universally applicable lesson for any relationship. Paying close attention to your partner's expressed needs and consciously striving to meet them can prevent so many misunderstandings and build a much stronger foundation of mutual care and respect.
Yeah. And they also touched on the intense public scrutiny Selena has faced throughout her life. And Benny seems to have developed a very healthy approach to dealing with negativity. He actively chooses not to read comments or engage with that side of the press. He simply doesn't see any value in it for his well-being.
Yeah, his perspective is so relevant in our hyper-connected world, you know? He's
Right.
consciously choosing to protect his mental space and focus his energy on positive interactions in his relationship rather than getting drawn into that external negativity. His approach of like asking his manager if he said anything stupid but not seeking out the details is a fascinating way to maintain awareness without getting emotionally entangled.
It's like knowing the weather without having to stand out in the storm.
Exactly.
Right. Selena was more candid about her struggles with public perception. She admitted that she has felt judged for various aspects of her identity and appearance, leading to moments of feeling a tad bitter and the constant exhaustion of navigating that spotlight.
Yeah, and it really highlights the disproportionate pressure and often intensely personal criticism that women in the public eye face. And Selena's honesty about the emotional toll of this constant judgment is so important for understanding the unique challenges that they navigate.
Yeah. But they both emphasized a shared commitment to protecting their peace as a couple.
Yeah.
They made a deliberate decision early on to keep their relationship private for several months,
Yeah.
wanting to nurture their bond away from external pressures and opinions.
And that conscious act of creating a private sanctuary for their relationship to flourish before going public speaks volumes about their priorities. It allowed them to build a strong internal foundation of trust and intimacy before navigating the complexities of a very public partnership.
Yeah, it's like building that solid foundation before you build the house on top of it. And it sounds like mutual support and genuine admiration are really at the heart of their partnership.
Yeah.
Benny consistently praises Selena's kindness and authenticity. And Selena clearly admires Benny's honesty and the way he truly sees her. That reciprocal appreciation is so key, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. That mutual respect and belief in each other's character creates such a powerful and resilient dynamic. They genuinely seem to uplift each other and celebrate each other's strengths, fostering a positive and encouraging environment within their relationship.
Which, of course, brings us to their engagement.
Yes.
Selena described the proposal as a complete and wonderful surprise. It happened during what she thought was just a normal work day.
Wow.
She said it was a crazy feeling in the best way and that Benny made it absolutely perfect for her.
Oh.
So sweet. Benny, on the other hand, admitted to experiencing some last-minute nerves, even though he'd been planning it for a while. And he shared that while marriage wasn't necessarily a top priority for him previously, Selena's desire for it made it incredibly important to him. That willingness to embrace what matters to your partner is such a significant aspect of a healthy relationship.
It's true. It's about meeting each other where you're at.
Yeah. And in a really sweet and vulnerable moment, they both recounted the story of who said, "I love you" first.
Oh.
It was Selena. She explained that she was tired of holding back and felt secure enough in their connection to express her feelings openly.
And that act of vulnerability and the courage to be the first to express such profound emotions often marks a deepening of intimacy in a relationship. Selena's decision to take that leap speaks volumes about her trust in Benny and the strength of their connection.
Yeah, it's like saying, okay, I trust you enough to be this vulnerable with you.
Exactly.
They also shared a charming anecdote about a special Valentine's Day gift. Benny went to incredible lengths to track down Selena's favorite fast food chain, which isn't readily available where they live, and recreated the entire experience for her. It's those thoughtful, personal gestures that truly demonstrate care and attention to the little details that matter to your partner.
It's not always about grand, extravagant displays, but those smaller, more personal acts that show you're paying attention, that you understand your partner's preferences, and that you're willing to go the extra mile to bring them joy.
Yeah.
Benny remembering Selena's specific food cravings is a perfect example of that thoughtfulness in action.
Yeah. What's also really fascinating is their creative partnership. They collaborated on Selena's new album, and it sounds like that process deepened their bond in significant ways. Selena felt it created a safe and supportive space where she could be completely open and honest in her artistry.
And Benny described it almost as a form of therapy. You know, a shared space where they could explore deep emotions and experiences through their creative work. Emotions that might not always surface in everyday conversation. He even mentioned writing down Selena's dreams and turning them into songs, which is incredibly intimate and profound.
Yeah.
It's a deep connection.
That level of intimacy and trust within their creative process is truly remarkable. It demonstrates how shared passions and collaborative endeavors can become another powerful layer of connection in a relationship.
It also highlights how different strengths and perspectives can complement each other creatively. They talked about how their contrasting approaches allowed them to kind of workshop ideas and navigate challenges in unique and effective ways, showcasing the benefits of diverse contributions within a partnership.
It's like two pieces of a puzzle fitting together.
Exactly.
Looking ahead, they both expressed a clear and shared excitement about starting a family. Selena has long spoken about her desire to be a mother, and Benny clearly shares that vision for their future together.
Yeah, it's a natural progression for a couple who have built such a strong and supportive foundation. Their aligned values and shared aspirations for the future are so crucial as they embark on this next chapter of their lives.
It's like they're building a life together brick by brick. And throughout their entire conversation, the recurring themes of kindness, vulnerability, and authenticity really stood out. They both spoke about being mindful of the cynicism in the world and actively choosing to be genuinely kind and open in their interactions, both with each other and with others.
And that emphasis on kindness, vulnerability, and authenticity is so resonant. In a world where guardedness is often seen as a form of protection, their conscious effort to prioritize these qualities in their relationship serves as a powerful reminder of what truly fosters meaningful human connection.
Yeah, it's like they're choosing to lead with their hearts.
Yeah.
So for you listening, what can we take away from Selena and Benny's story? Firstly, it seems relationships can truly blossom unexpectedly and at precisely the right moment, even if initial encounters are forgettable or you misread someone's first impression of you.
Absolutely. And secondly, building and maintaining trust isn't a one-time event. It's an active and ongoing process that requires both partners to be vulnerable, communicate openly, and be willing to navigate past experiences together. There will likely be moments of doubt, but addressing them with honesty is a key.
Yeah. And if you're navigating the challenges of distance or demanding careers in your relationship, their emphasis on regular check-ins, clear communication of needs, and unwavering mutual support offers some really practical strategies.
Absolutely. And their conscious decision to shield their relationship from public negativity and prioritize their inner peace is also a valuable lesson. Focusing on what truly matters within your connection rather than external opinions is so vital for its health and longevity.
And perhaps one of the most powerful takeaways is the significance of finding a partner who truly sees and accepts you, flaws and all. That feeling of being genuinely understood and valued for who you are at your core is incredibly transformative.
Wow. We also saw how supporting each other's passions and engaging in creative collaborations can deepen a relationship. It provides those shared experiences and fosters a stronger sense of connection. And their shared enthusiasm for starting a family highlights the importance of having aligned visions for the future.
Yeah. It's like having a shared map for where you're going.
Exactly.
Ultimately, Selena and Benny's deep dive reminds us of the fundamental importance of kindness, honesty, and vulnerability as the cornerstones of a strong and fulfilling relationship.
Yeah.
While not always easy, these are the qualities that allow for genuine and lasting connection.
This brings up a thought for you to consider. What small step towards greater honesty or vulnerability could you take in your own relationships this week?
Yeah.
Think about how you balance protecting yourself with allowing genuine connection to truly flourish.
And if you found this deep dive insightful and valuable, we would be incredibly grateful if you would subscribe to our channel and follow us for more in-depth explorations like this.
Yeah.
You can also support the show and help us continue bringing you these deep dives through our Patreon. The link is conveniently located in the description below.
Yeah, we would love to have you.
We also encourage you to take a moment to write down your comments about this particular deep dive and share what resonated with you most. Your feedback is invaluable as we strive to create content that truly serves your quest for knowledge and understanding.
Yeah, we really appreciate you listening.
Thanks for joining us.